Hello, welcome back to Kidder Farms. We got a couple of contracts up here on the contracting server, and so we're gonna go ahead and take a run out to one of these fields and see what kind of a job we got. There's a number of people on right now doing a couple of contracts already, so we're gonna try and grab this one before it disappears, hopefully. And whoops, we're speeding. We gotta watch our speed a little bit here. Cruise control is my friend lately. I think this is our field. I don't know if there's a driveway. There's not much of a ditch here, so we're just gonna pull out here. It looks like they got about halfway done plowing, maybe? Forgot to turn our car off. Got about halfway done plowing? I don't know if maybe the map just hasn't updated here. Yeah, it looks like we're still updating, maybe. Get rid of the weeds. Oh, those are all weeds. That's not even a crop. Fertilized, needs plowing. Oh. Alright, it looks like this field had half a job done to it, probably due to server getting reset or something. So I'm going to go ahead and accept this contract, and we're going to finish plowing it, I think. So we're going to jump over here real quick. And I believe this is the job for 123. So we're going to go ahead and accept this contract, just to lock that in. And then we're going to jump back over here and get in our truck, and we're going to go pick up a plow. Now, this time we are going to operate out of the contractor farm on the other side of the map here. Because it's a lot closer to field 123. Just go ahead and get over here. We're still having a little bit of lag using the steering wheel, but we gotten used to it at this point. Been on the server a couple of times, and I think it is just the there's about a 65 millisecond latency to this particular server for me, and so it tends to have a little bit of delay between what I steer and what goes on, but we're getting used to it. We don't have a stop sign. Yay. It's funny as you play single player for so long, and you get used to drifting. You get used to just driving wherever you want because you're not worried about running into anybody. But there's been a number of people on the server, and I have passed other cars and equipment going down the road here, and so you gotta pay a little bit more attention, which is definitely been a different experience. It's funny the small things that you notice switching into a multiplayer environment with other players. And so you can see coming up here just down the road is where the other contractor farm is on this map, which is really handy because it's such a big map. This way you're not driving all of the equipment from one corner of the map to the other. So there's a fair amount of equipment here to use at each farm. I know we've got at least a couple of tractors here, and we're gonna go ahead and put this back where I found it, which is backed into this slot, if I can do it without running into anything. We got somebody there in the background doing some hauling. Perfect. And we're gonna grab a tractor. The question is, can I find a plow? Let's go looking. I'm not gonna drive through there. Doesn't look like a good idea. Oops. Flashers on. And I see fertilizers, I see planters, there's a plow. I assume that's a plow. We'll go ahead and get hooked up here. Oh, and I forget, we've got to get out. This will take a little bit of getting used to. Hoses. Jump back in. And away we go. And we are going to run our beacons as well as the flashers. One of these days I'll actually ask the question in the Discord if both are necessary or what the general rules are. Oh, let's not take out the mailbox. Alright, we're going to run this up to the field and finish out the plowing that was in flight on this contract. So we'll see you back up in the field. Alright, we're back up here at the field, and we're going to go ahead and get set up here with everything that we need. We're going to take this little piece because it's bugging me. Alright, back up here, and we're going to figure out some GPS for these long stretches. And so we're going to go ahead and do that. I have a stream deck here, which is what I'm interacting with on the right hand side, because I can put a whole bunch of shortcuts to different things rather than having to remember the keys, and so it makes interacting with stuff like GPS a lot easier. And I have a whole setup so that I can have all of my field work commands and raising and lowering equipment and doing a lot of different things all right here. I've got, you know, cute little images and stuff, so this has been super helpful, especially for streaming, because I can jump around and control my cameras and all my audio and different things with it. So that's been really nice. One of these days I'll upgrade and get a bigger one with more buttons so I don't have to dig through the menus as much. So yeah, this is going to be a short little contract here. I think we're going to make about $1,300 off of this. So we're going to go ahead and time lapse out the rest of this work if we can avoid driving on this other field here. I think we're going to hit up a couple more headlands here real quick just to make our life easier. So we'll catch you guys on the other side of this field.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna light it up. Tonight, we're gonna light it up. Tonight, we're gonna light it up. Just like the sunrise, we're gonna light it up. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna light it up. Tonight, we're gonna light it up. Tonight, we're gonna light it up. Just like the sunrise, we're gonna light it up.
Alright, that was a quick field to finish up here. Hope that about a third of the work was already done before we got here, but that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and clean up just a couple of these bits that we missed real quick, and then we'll go and complete this contract. And I'm hoping that there's going to be at least one more contract out here. Otherwise, we might just go look at our finances for a couple minutes. I spent a little bit of time reading up on a few more things on the wiki, and I really think that we want to get into having at least a local warehouse in a couple of countries and doing some trading of the different materials. And so we're going to jump out while this synchronization thing is going on, go back over to the website and refresh the contract page. Oh, we've logged out. Go back into the contract center, look at the contracts we have. There's several others here. This one is not quite ready to accept yet, so we'll have to wait until that's ready to accept. So let's go ahead and look at what else is available, though, because we'll be able to accept that one shortly. And field 80, field 79, 51, or 25. So 51 is right over here. That's a harvest contract. Um, 80, Field 80. I'm tabbing back into the game here real quick to look at where these fields are so I know how far we're gonna have to drive. The thing that always irked me about this, actually Field 80 is perfect. We're gonna grab the contract for Field 80. We're gonna take this tractor back up to the field, or up to the storage, but Field 80 is right next to the shop, so we'll be able to grab that and do planting on that field. Oh, somebody else got that one already. Okay, well, let's just keep looking here. 25 and 51. 25. Where is Field 25? Is right there in the middle. That's been harvested. And it needs to be plowed. So we're going to go ahead and take this field for 25 because we already have a plow. Accept contract. This one's not quite ready. I'm almost positive, as long as I've actually completed it, I'm allowed to take a second contract. I think the system prevents you from having any more than 2. Alright, it looks like our field might actually be just up behind this farm. So we're going to go ahead and try to pull through the farm here. There's no way to get through here. The field doesn't go up to the road, so I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to get to it. Oh, there we go. We got an entrance here. I think I can squeeze through here with the plow. Yep, no problem. And here. This is field 25, right? Yep. Alright. We can go ahead and just sneak ourselves in here. And this will be a nice tight fit, so we'll have to figure out what we're gonna do here. I'll probably just take some headlands off, give us some room to turn around. Get over here a little bit so we're not missing the edge. So this is a nice little field. We're only gonna make like $580 on this job, but it was handy to not have to go all the way back to the shop and get a different piece of equipment. So as long as we had the plow anyway, this is going to work out pretty good. And I guess we could turn off the beacons, hazard lights. And not hit the fence would be good. Get back over to our field work on the stream deck. It's always handy. Yeah, this is why I don't play on a lot of European maps, is I can't stand the fences, running into stuff. I mean, there's some, obviously this is a US map. It's like a cow pasture or something that's been tilled up into a field. There are US maps that you've got a lot of fences and stuff on, but generally I like the more open style, bigger equipment type farming, but on this more contract-based gameplay, smaller to medium fields might be easier to get jobs on. I'm kind of been looking around at the different size fields and thinking ahead to when we start buying some land to work for ourselves, how we're gonna want to do that. I did donate recently. There's a donation drive going on right now on the FSN server, and so there's a bunch of bonuses for individuals who are donating, and it will unlock Farm Manager faster for those that donate over $20, I believe. And so that's something that we could start doing sooner than later if we wanted to, but I think that for me, I'd like to just do a bunch of contracts and spend a little bit of time earning some money to get to more than just the bare minimum starting cash that you get as a farm manager. And what that'll do is not only allow us to get a better feel for some of the game mechanics, but to also just figure out what we want to do, see what the different servers are. A lot of the servers have extra spots on them right now. Some of the servers are full, but there's quite a few servers that have farm manager slots available, and so we're just looking around to see where we want to end up. I think that making the farm manager decision is pretty important. You won't be stuck on that map per se, but that's probably where you're going to want to buy most of your land, is on the map that your farm is on, because that's where most of your equipment's going to be, because it's cheaper to have your equipment, or it's cheaper to own land on your home farm server, I believe. I've been reading up a little bit on some of that, and there is property tax involved, and so you pay a higher tax on your land if it's not on your home server, and so that's something that we're going to need to be conscious of before we buy land. And we'll be able to possibly even start buying land before we decide to jump up to farm manager, pay those higher taxes until we become a farm manager if we've got an eye on a specific server and we don't think that the open farm slots are going to get snatched up in the meantime. We could get started on a farm or on a map before we own the farm. So I've got to keep my eye open on the land auctions and things that are coming up for sale here as we start to get a little bit more money. I do have some money tied up in the stock market right now. I'm hesitant to keep showing off some of those kinds of things, because I think that, like a lot of the stuff in FSN, it is a competition, right? And so I'm not sure how much player activity drives the stock market versus it being controlled somewhat randomly behind the scenes. And so that's something that I still have to look into a little bit. But I do have some stocks that are doing not remarkably good. Well, if they were real world stocks, I'd be very happy. We're getting into the 10-20% gains in a couple of days here. So being able to make 10 to 20% of your investment in just a couple of days is a pretty good investment. And so we're gonna keep our eye on that, maybe sell off some of the stock that we bought already and reinvest it somewhere else, just to keep playing the stock market game while we're building up the rest of our funds. I don't really see a point in buying any equipment right now. I think we're going to wait until we actually own a farm to buy our own equipment, just because the contractor costs for owning land are so high. So until we own a piece of land, I don't see a point in owning our own equipment right now. Most of the jobs that I've taken off of the contract board, the equipment is usually provided for you, or if it's, like on the training server, or the contract server, I should probably call it, the contract equipment is available for you to use. The only reason that you might want to buy your own equipment is because then I could do some of these contract jobs faster. You can't buy equipment on the contract server though, as far as I know. You can only have that be on the other player-based servers, and so I'd have to know that I was going to be getting regular contracts from somebody before I'd buy equipment on their server. It looks like there's a farmhand system coming soon, and a lot of individuals have been posting in the Discord looking for regular farmhands to work on their farm. That's a really interesting concept, because then you can have a more predictable set of jobs and a more predictable set of income. So it works both ways, where the farm owner knows that they can rely on you to do certain jobs at certain times, and then you've got a guarantee that there's some work there and some money there to be had. So that's something I'm keeping my eye on. Right now, I don't think that I'm ready to sign up for anything like that, and that's mostly just because my schedule has been just crazy with the current world events and everybody being kind of locked down at home right now. I've got a couple of kids, and it keeps me pretty busy during the day, and then I'm catching up on work in the evenings, and we end up recording like we're doing now at 2 in the morning. So, still having a ton of fun putting content out, so it's worth losing a few hours of sleep here and there for to get some good videos put together. At this point, I've probably made a big enough headland. I should probably just get GPS out and finish this field up. So we're going to go ahead and jump into that, and we'll catch you guys on the other side. Alright, we've wrapped up that plowing contract, so let's go ahead and jump back out here to the website. And we're going to refresh our contracts page, and I should be able to turn in that first contract that we did. And that was a plowing contract. So we're going to mark that one complete, get our 1,300 bucks. And, oh, it looks like there's one more here. So there's work on field 51 that we could go do. I'm just going to jump over here into the game and see if we can find field 51, which we can. It's right up the road from us. And that is a harvest contract. And so we've got to take this tractor back over here anyway. I'm looking to see if there's any roads. It's not really a good way to get back there without going all the way up and over. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that field 51 on our way back. Alright, we're coming up here onto that field 51. Oh, bridge. I don't want to hit the thing. Alright, so I'm going to pull over here real quick and we're going to jump out, but it looks like it's a harvest contract. And so what I'm worried about, this is barley, is that that's going to wither by the time I can get back up here, but we're gonna give it a shot because I haven't gotten a chance to do a harvest contract yet. They don't really pay any different, and honestly, I think the harvest is going to be tougher than some of they're more time consuming, I'll say, than some of the other contracts, because harvesters are slow to drive up here to begin with, and we've got to get a grain cart of some kind to haul the grain up to sell somewhere. So that's actually going to be a fair amount of work, but it's not too far in, at least in 4X world terms, to get up here. It's a pretty straight shot. So if I get back down here to the farm and this contract is still there by the time I drop off this other equipment, I'll go ahead and pick that up and we'll do some harvest. Alright, we are back up here at the shop, and I need to see, oh, there's a workshop here. I'd like to return our equipment and clean it up before we park it. So I'm just going to go ahead and back this plow to the shop. That should do it. See if we can repair. Yeah, there we go. Oh, no, it's at full condition. Interesting. We plowed 2 different fields. I would have expected it to be a little banged up by now, but it's a sturdy plow. It's just sturdy. So we'll go ahead and get this equipment cleaned up, get it parked away here, and then we'll pick up one of these harvesters and go take this harvest contract if it's still there. Alright, good enough. What I don't see... Oh, I got the steering wheel on the keyboard. What I don't see is grain carts. How am I gonna sell... Oh, there's an auger wagon, I guess. Not sure how I'm gonna sell my grain after I harvest it. Hoses, disconnect, go forward. Alright. And over here, so we've got an auger wagon and a combine. I love that we've got all this rebranded John Deere stuff. I wonder what that actually was before that was skinned with John Deere. Huh, that's cool. I'm gonna have to go look at that mod. But either way, I don't know how we're gonna sell our grain if we harvest it. And I guess I could run an auger wagon through most sell points. It's still there. Let me go check real quick and see if the contract's still available. Contract is still available, so we're gonna pick up the contract here on my other monitor, and then we're just gonna park this tractor hooked up to the auger wagon for a minute. Hopefully someone will realize that maybe I need it, since I can't drive both pieces of equipment up there at the same time. And to be honest, combine's probably gonna hold the whole thing for me. And so what we're gonna do is go ahead and this has the driving direction control turned on. What is the key for switching that? I don't use this mod. Spacebar. How do I turn it off altogether? EV. It's in here somewhere. EV. Forward, change, reverse. Numpad slash, I don't have a numpad. Well, I guess I'll just have to worry about that. So we're gonna go out on the grass here, I think, to get this header switched over. So if I lift this up and I can toss the wheels out. There we go. We have to disconnect it. Oh, I really want to figure out how to get that mod turned off. That will be a job for off stream, though. This is one of those things that works good if you don't have a steering wheel to help you control forward and back and all that, but it's not working for me. Alright, do I have lights or anything I need to? No. Alright, so we've got a header. Oops, that's what I'm talking about. We've got a header, we've got a combine. We're gonna take this on out and hit field 51. Why is it going backwards? Okay, here we go. On the road again. Alright, we'll see you guys back up at field 51. Alright, we're coming up here on field 51, and I've just realized how much overkill this harvester is going to be for this tiny little field. And I'm not sure where to park to get the header on. I think we're going to pull up here past the field. There's a little grass field here that I think we can co-opt for our needs. So we're going to go ahead and pull in here. And we got to jump out. Disconnect our trailer. And I think we can go ahead and hook up here. That's almost straight, right? Let's see, we're gonna hook up the... Oh. Yeah, we gotta fold it back up. It helps if we select the header. Fold it up. Why is it not folding up? Lift the header. Fold the... Something... Maybe I need to do that to fold it up. Yep, okay. Good to know. And by do that, I mean we had to hook up the hoses and the PTO before we could fold it back up. Turn off these beacons, because that's going to drive me nuts. Get everything unfolded, and we're ready to harvest. And I did figure out how to disable the drive control features while we were driving over here. So that was, I think it was left control spacebar to turn that on and off. And away we harvest. We gotta get this done before it withers. I'll be very... Whoa. Oh, it is harvesting, okay. I'll be very frustrated if our field withers before we can finish this contract. I think that's one of those situations where you have to weigh how much work you actually did to justify completing a contract. I would not want to have to drive the equipment back and bring a plow up here. I would probably just mark it complete and send a message that it withered halfway through the contract. I'm not sure what the appropriate way to handle that is. That's something that I should ask on the Discord channel when I get a second. And there we go. Get my buttons set up here. I guess the nice thing about this being a huge combine for a small field is it's not going to take very long, and I'm not going to have to set GPS up. Oh, we're getting pretty good volume already. We might get more than one hopper full on this little field. That'll be interesting. Alright, we're going to go ahead and time-lapse out the rest of this, and we'll catch up with you when we need to go get the grain cart. Alright, so we filled this up, so I'm going to go ahead and toss the pipe out here, turn it off, and we're going to jump back over and grab that tractor we hooked up to the tipper. Get our flashers going. Zip on over here. Whoa. I just love that all the stuff is reskinned John Deere. I mean, obviously I have a preference. That's what I grew up farming with most of the time. I've seen my fair share of red equipment, but I think I've only driven maybe 2 or 3 red tractors in my life. Alright, we're going to take this back up to field 51 where we're harvesting and keep things going. So we'll catch up with you guys back at the field. Alright, we're getting back up here to the field, but it's starting to get dark with all this driving around. And so we're going to be in kind of a rush to see if we can get this done before it gets too dark, but we're already at a point where we probably need to, have our lights on. Pay attention to where we're driving instead of talking. Alright, now let's back up. Yeah, multitasking, not so much a thing for me when I'm driving and recording here. We're going to go ahead and turn those lights off. And I'm just curious to see what our fill percentage is going to be on this trailer. I mean, I think we'll fit the rest of this field in here, no problem. We'll go ahead and turn it off. Looks like we're gonna be at about 30%. No, maybe more with 14K. Okay. Well, it'll all fit in here. So we'll get this started up. Turn off the beacons. Fire up the combine. And away we go. We've switched back to in-cab mode here for a moment. Try and wrap up this field. We've got one last pass here. Oops. One of the nice things about the wheel is that it makes doing in-cab driving feel just a little bit more natural, I guess. The problem is the field of view is always kind of a struggle for me in vehicle and farm sim. I think I probably need to play with my settings a little bit, but you can't actually see the end of the header. I mean, I don't know. It's just difficult to see where you're going like this, right? So, never really had such a huge problem with visibility on the farm when I was actually driving a larger combine like this. So I think it's just crash, an aspect of the game that I haven't gotten used to even after all these years. I can't believe that this combine also doesn't have a pipe light. It's like next to impossible to see what we're doing. We're gonna jump out here in the tractor and turn on the lights. Get that started up. Oh, perfect. It all fits in this trailer. So what I'm going to do before we take off here is I'm actually going to unfold this and get it connected for hauling away. Undo that, undo that, undo that. This way when we're done we can just move all the equipment. I'll probably do that off camera anyway because it's less interesting. So we're going to go ahead and just get it set up so I don't forget about it. And then we're going to figure out where to go sell this. So it says use the tipper and sell at the nearest sell point. And so we're up here, the nearest sell point. There's no nearest sell point. There's no sell point on the top half of this map. West Lumber. We got cattle feed. Cooper. What? There's only 2 sell points. And they're both really far away. Alright, we're gonna sell it to this one because then we can just drive our equipment back up to where we need to store it anyway. So we're gonna take off and go all the way down here. And we'll catch you guys at the sell point then for this. Alright, we're coming up here on the sell point. And I've realized, if I'm not mistaken, this is the sell point that has a pull-through inside, so we're gonna have a really hard time unloading an auger wagon in here. But it was the only wagon available. Alright, so the servers have gone down for reboots because it is 3 a.m. I think that's something that happens on a regular basis here. I missed the notification in the Discord for that. And so, unfortunately, wasn't paying attention, so we'll have to see if I need to go back in and finish up some of that job after things come back up. But since we did finish that, we're going to go ahead and complete these contracts. So starting with the older one, this was field 25, was that small field that we plowed, so we marked that as plowed, complete, get $500. And then for this harvest contract, we're going to come in here, harvest, mark complete. So we made a good little bit amount of money today. We're up to 11 grand of actual money. And then if we come in here and just check at a high level, I think I invested about 10,000 in stocks. So I got some stocks that are up, some are down. So, you know, total we're sitting on just over $20,000 in total assets. So we got a nice little start here, and we'll be keeping an eye on things and trying to figure out what we want to do next as we just work through some of these jobs. What I'd really like to do is jump in and do some more player-based contracts here at some point, and so we'll definitely be keeping an eye out for those. Hopefully tomorrow you'll see that we're in the late winter, about to push into spring here, and so obviously the jobs and stuff are going to pick back up in the spring as there's more field work and planting and things like that to do. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this series. I know this is just the second video here, and I'm still learning a little bit about what's going on. I've also been keeping an eye on the global market aspects of the game. I think we're going to get some warehouses soon and try to trade on the global market, because that's something that we can do even without owning a farm yet. And so that's going to be a good next step, something for us to play with. Maybe I'll waste all my money on it and we'll, you know, lose everything, but I'm kind of curious to see how it works. So I think that'll be something that we do next time. In the meantime, hopefully you're enjoying the series. If you are, please feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and as always, have a good one. And that's all for today. Keterk out. We have prize boxes. We can't go yet. We gotta go check these prize boxes out. So we got 5 boxes. They do things. So we're gonna go ahead and open a box. We're gonna open all 5 boxes, and then if I come over, I'm gonna bring the Discord down here onto the screen. Let me find it. Boom. You can see here in the Discord, it reports out what you get for opening your boxes. So I got a couple golden bales, $3,500, $15,000, 10 golden bales, and $1,500. So I just made what, $20,000 by opening those boxes. So that's really cool. So now we're up to $31,000. I'm super excited. That means that we got a rare box unlocked to get the 15,000. So we got pretty lucky there. 100,000 would have been nice. Just saying. Okay, cool. So for real this time, that's all for today. Ketter out.